You can go ahead and sing our theme song.
Friendship celebration time.
Hi, this is Friendship Celebration Time, and today I'm celebrating my friend Jamie.
Da, 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 da.
Hi, and thank you for the new theme song.
Yeah. I mean, you won't use it because you say that this is fine. This is good enough. This isn't a big production. And I say, why not?
I'll use it in this episode.
Oh, great.
I will use it in this episode. However, I think now I'm going to require everyone who comes on to just make me a new theme song.
Oh my God, yes, please.
So I'll have every time, I'll see if they make me a theme song. If they
like
refuse,
that.
that's fine. But
I like that.
I might do that. So do you have other ways I can fix the show?
Fix? Well, okay. Fix was not the word I used. I was thinking more like enhance.
Okay, how can I enhance the show further?
Well, there was the song.
Yeah.
And no, that was the big one. I think that you do really well with picking a voice clip that's funny to be like the last thing. But I guess I imagine some like old Windows 98 spark like pixelated transitions. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I am definitely not making enough use of Windows 98 in the production of
Like,
this.
you know what I'm talking about? Those like retro slide transitions.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I have access to slide transitions. I just don't use them, but I could. Yeah. I probably should in this one. This one's just going to be the most authentic replication of a Windows 98 produced show.
With that too, is that?
Yes. So do you remember how we met?
Do you remember?
Oh, that's another thing I have to actually say. I actually have to say this with you. It didn't come up with anyone else. I found out that if you sing songs that are not in the public domain, that you can be held accountable. I know that you have like song reflex, where you have hotspot syndrome. Where as soon as anyone says anything that could be even 2 words in a row that like in consecutive order of like the lines of a song, you're in the song.
So how many words do I get before we get like copyrighted?
I don't know. I think as long as it's vague enough, like I think that one, I think there are enough of Do You Remembers out there that I think we can get away with that, but that is something.
But just don't do it. I'm already sweaty.
We can make up our own, like you can still sing, but you'd have to like change a word or something.
Sure, okay.
We'll do.
You don't remember?
Yeah, there you go.
So, okay, the question.
Yeah. So, do you remember how we met?
Yes. We met at MDI's Affirmations show. And it was thanks to Harris. Shout out. It was thanks to Harris because they messaged me saying, all right, we are performing down the street from your house. You've got no excuse. Time to leave the house, reemerge from your cocoon, and come to a show. And so I went and saw a bunch of people that I knew and a couple that I didn't yet. And the rest is history.
Yeah, and then we became friends.
All over a loaf of bread. Yeah, you know, I remember I was like, does anyone want to share this like bread loaf and dipping thing? And Jason immediately was like, I will. I'm like, okay.
I will absolutely share bread.
Come on, bread is amazing. So we bonded over bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that worked out well. It was a good dinner.
It was a good dinner. And I got to reconnect with a bunch of people, so it was very cool.
Yeah.
I was glad to be invited.
And you got to meet some new friends, even besides me. Yeah. That's where you met Brian, too.
That is. I met a lot of new people that night. Yeah.
And I think you met Lark that night, too.
I did. Oh, I did. I really liked Lark. Lark and I bonded over cats immediately.
That's why I thought Tim liked cats more than he does.
Well, Tim must really love Lark.
Yeah, he said he tolerates cats.
I think he might even mildly tolerates. Like, he just not.
Yeah, I thought he was like really into him, but
he's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
See him in The Butler did it at Inspire Theater in Westland, the end of September and through mid-October, something like that.
Where there will not be cats involved.
Probably not. I haven't seen the show.
Yeah,
but there's probably
you
not
never
a cat.
But probably not cats involved.
I'm gonna guess there won't be.
I can't say anything about dogs though.
So, I know that you've been watching Strange Planet, and I saw you pull out a notebook when you were showing me the show, and you started jotting down terminology that they were using. So, I'd love to know how you've incorporated the terminology into your life.
Yeah.
You've got it jotted down.
And I need to go back. They come so fast at you that I'm missing a whole bunch. But yes, basically I started making a little glossary of the terms that are used in this adorably absurd show, Strange Planet. Apple TV, not a sponsor, unless you want to be. So the one that, I know I mentioned this already, but the one that I use almost daily is vibrating creatures. So they call all animals creatures. And there's, and then the other, there was like outdoor creatures, right? So that's the tiny fingered trash bandit, also known as a raccoon. But so I have taken to calling my cats my vibrating creatures. Every once in a while, I'll call Okami a moral creature. So dogs are moral creatures and cats are vibrating creatures. Every once in a while, I'll call Okami a moral creature. I don't feel like it fits him though. He's not immoral, but he's a little.
He's got some questionable ethics.
He does. He makes some questionable choices sometimes. So Okami has always been a creature. It's just like a fluffy creature or a awkward creature. He's always been a creature anyways. But yeah, now I'm like, I'll pet them, and then as soon as they start purring, I'm like, I've got a vibrating creature. So that one, mild poison, also known as alcohol. I think in my head, or like we mentioned the other night, would you like some mild poison? I would. I would like some mild poison. Thank you. So that's been one. I'm gonna probably start calling football foot orb.
Oh. I think I've accidentally called it foot orb without remembering the name of it.
Are you a writer on the show? I
would love to be a writer on the show.
Strange Planet on Apple TV. So definitely foot orb. I really have only incorporated it with you because most people would have no idea what I was talking about. They would be like,
for now.
Actually, okay, you know what I'm probably more likely to incorporate? When I make myself giggle, Ted Lasso refers to his hands or his fingers as his foot fingers.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I could have that wrong. Toes, maybe foot fingers.
Oh, toes.
Feet.
Okay.
No, but these are feet. These are feet something. No, I don't remember.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, my feet hands and my feet fingers or something. And so now I have that in my head. But apparently not very well because I forgot it in the moment.
So, have you incorporated like lessons from Ted Lasso into your have you grown as a person from Ted Lasso's lessons?
Actually, as much as I want to answer that snarkily, I mean, I say fuck a lot more often, even though I already said it a lot. But now I've added
that Roy Kent has been a bad influence on
I know, in the best way. I've added a little. I've added a little bit of Roy Kent to my fuck now, so it's like fuck, a little more drawn out. No, but Ted Lasso has a whole. There's a whole scene, a whole storyline, and I won't share too much, but anger is a theme, and the outcome is sort of like, rather than judge someone for what they do when they're angry, why don't we investigate what's going on, why they're angry, like what, because under that usually is pain, right? So he says all the time, be curious, not judgmental. And I've actually used that a lot in my sessions. And it can be used about people, like be curious about that person rather than judge that person, but it can also be used for ourselves. So, I'm really anxious right now. Could go down I'm a piece of shit rabbit hole. Or it could go down a be curious, not judgmental. Why am I super anxious? All right, this is going on. So it can kind of help with the self-judgment too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But what I know the best answer for Ted Lasso fans is going to be that believe sign, right? So believe in yourself. Okay, two things. What I take from that is all I can think of is when someone asks Ted Lasso, do you believe in ghosts? And he says, I do, but most importantly, I believe they need to believe in themselves. So I think about that when I think of belief. Like, yeah, ghosts just need to believe in themselves. And then the other thing is lately I've had this, I can't do it, song association with the phrase believe in yourself.
Okay.
Can I say names? Like,
okay. You can talk about songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joey McIntyre, Stay the Same.
Okay.
There's a line where he goes, ba 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 ba. I left out the lyrics.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. And so now lately it's been fucking Joey McIntyre.
So I had no intention of asking this question, but now I have to. Were you a New Kids on the Block fan?
No. No, not really. But yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how
funny.
that happened. Yeah.
That reminded me of another, like I was going to ask you some stuff about ADHD and stuff. So since you, are very
demonstrating it very well
in it, through both lived experience and being a therapist, what do you think people should know about ADHD, and even how it pertains to you, if you want to go that direction too?
We're not lazy. Like, that's a big one. Excuse me, we're not lazy. It's gonna look like I'm lazy because I'm not moving. But internally, I am so hyper-focused and wound and thinking, I need to be doing this or that or the other thing. And then I start making lists, and then I organize the lists, then I make lists, organize the lists. Like, with every intention of getting up and doing the damn thing. And then ADHD paralysis sets in, and it's like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. Now it's not, or now, then there's this weird, like, now it's too late. Now it's too late to be productive. So now I could just do whatever I want to do. No, that's really not how that works, but, whatever. So we're not lazy. I promise, we're not lazy. But what do I want people to know about ADHD?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I want people to know that not everyone has it. Sorry. TikTok might have lied to you. Or it might have helped you diagnose yourself, which is fully accurate and valid. But not everyone has ADHD. You can get distracted and not have ADHD. ADHD is way more. Here's a big one. It's way more than being able to focus or not focus. Like, we've got impulsivity, right? And impulsivity, even that, people think about it like spending, binge drinking, sex, risky. No, not even. Impulsivity can be, this thing happened, and my first thought is, well, then I guess everything's fucked. Like, that's also an impulsive reaction, an impulsive thought reaction, right? So sometimes it's impulsive and hyperactivity in your thought process or your ideas. For example, right now, they moved too fast, and I'm like, wait, which one was I going to go with next? Shit. But it's, things like executive functioning difficulties. So I, can't for the life of me close the cabinet door. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I have to, set alarms and make lists to remind myself to do the laundry. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, Sunday's laundry day. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm wearing a dress today, So it's things like that. And, yeah, the emotional regulation, ADHD has a lot to do with difficulty regulating your emotions, which, hi, if you know me, I have difficulty regulating my emotions. So you wouldn't think that something like a stimulant necessarily would help, and it wouldn't if you don't. But if you do have it, for me at least, personally, I'm not going to speak generally or on anyone else's experience. For me, I've noticed that stimulant medication has made more of a difference for me than antidepressant medication.
Okay.
In terms of regulating and monitoring the intensity of it. So that tells me something.
So if there are people that think, they see signs and stuff and they think, I have ADHD, what would be some things that they could do to kind of help them understand a little bit more? Because not everyone can afford the thousands of dollars to get tested and all that stuff. So what are some things that they could do?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are free assessments online. Okay. Excuse me. I'm still working out this bronchitis bullshit. Going camping killed me. No, there's a lot of free assessments online that are valid. They might just be more pre-screeners than the full assessment, but it can give you a pretty good idea. So if you just type in, ADHD assessments for free, you'll find some stuff. In terms of websites or organizations, I love ADDA, ADDA, Association for difficulties deciding energy. No, attention. Difficulties executive fuck, I don't know. ADDA. They're really awesome. They're a little bit smaller, so it always feels a little bit more for the member, personalized, I guess, for me. CHADD is another huge one. CHADD. The Center for Helping Attention Deficit Disorders. Maybe closer. But so they've got, all of these places have free resources. Attitude, that's the big one.
Okay.
Attitude magazine.
I've actually read articles and stuff out of there. I mean, I know you've sent me some too.
Yes, Attitude is amazing. ADDI-tude. Because we gotta put ADD in the title. No, Attitude magazine, free. They've got a lot of insanely awesome resources, articles, things like that. And then if you're more of a watcher, I cannot recommend YouTube's How to ADHD channel enough. She's the one who's obsessed with Hello Brains. I can't remember her name right now. Jessica. Yeah, she's amazing. So check out her for sure. How to ADHD on YouTube. And then there are a couple people on TikTok that are really good as well, but I can't remember. There's one, she wrote, she's an LPC, a licensed counselor. She wrote the book How to Clean House While Drowning.
Okay.
And I can't remember her name right now, but she's on TikTok and gives a lot of really great brain hacks and life hacks. If you're super depressed or just super paralyzed, here's how you can clean up in 5 minutes and feel a little bit less like a piece of shit.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people they beat themselves up over what they don't accomplish in a day. And so even being able to take the small steps seemed like it would be very beneficial, even if you can accomplish, like, a pathway was cleared or something like that.
Right. No, that's kind of how I have to even look at it too sometimes for myself. Because when you're stressed or anxious or sick or depressed or whatever, ADHD symptoms go out the wazoo. They're just like, oh, guess what? Your brain has left the building. Like, we ain't playing today. We're gone. We're done. We're hibernating.
Brains.
It's good. Goodbye, brains. See you next summer. So it makes it even harder. So it's like, yeah, I did some dishes or I picked up some trash. My mom actually had to remind me because I'm over here. I'm like, I'm a failure at life. She's like, no, you got these applications in. You made that call. You got this taken care of. You fixed that. She's like, you're doing better than you think you are. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Well, I'm glad she was able to reason with you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, if it was helpful, like, did you find it helpful when she reminded you of those things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially from her. Validation goes a long way.
So what is something I don't know about you that you'd like me to know about you?
Yeah, see, I purposely didn't think about these questions ahead of time because I didn't want to sound scripted. And then I was like, but I don't know what you don't know. So what you don't know about me that I would like you to know about me is that I am more adaptable than you may think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that sometimes people, humans, we do this like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to go that route because I don't want to hurt, I don't want to upset them, or I don't want to make them blah, 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 whatever. You know, we all do that, right? And I think I'm a little more adaptable than you think.
Yeah, so if I was like, oh, Jamie might not want to play Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, I might be like, you know what, maybe she will.
Maybe she would. Maybe I could ask her.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, Jamie really doesn't like plain chicken tenders. But they do serve other things at this restaurant. Maybe she could find, or maybe there's a dip that she might like. And I'll still invite her to dinner because maybe there's something, you know.
So there is something, and I'm going to.
Those are random examples, not specific.
Yeah, there's not like a passive aggressive jab.
You didn't invite me to dinner
Yeah.
because you didn't think I was gonna like chicken tenders, you asshole.
That's probably going to be the quote that I use.
You didn't invite me for chicken dinners, you asshole.
No, I don't know if it is. So there is a restaurant that I tried, and it was way more expensive than what it should be for what you get. Oh. I will never go back there. And the chicken tenders, because that's what Hunter and I got. We got the chicken tenders, and they were okay. Like, they were okay stuff, but just not worth the price we paid. Mm-hmm. However, the sauces were pretty good.
See,
there was
now,
like a garlic sauce, a garlic parmesan sauce, I think, and there were a couple others. I forget what they were exactly, but I know that the sauces were at least good. So even though it was plain chicken tenders that weren't, it's like, okay, the sauces are pretty good with it.
Yeah, a good sauce could save the day.
Another thing that when you brought up when you were doing all the acronym stuff, it made me think, because you also do improv, and I forget if you have played the game Acronymble before, where someone will get an acronym from the audience, like, for example, ADHD. And anytime the bell dings with the people in the scene, whoever spoke last has to then continue their sentence with the next letters, like the words that they use, begin with A, next word begins with D, next word begins with H, next word begins with D. And they can continue after that, but the next words they say have to fulfill the acronym.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that sounds hard.
Yeah, I guess Colleen used to run it pretty regularly, and then I ran it on like the second time that I ran MDI one. Steve and Paula were playing it. There were only like, that was like the smallest MDI meetup there was. There were like 7 of us there, and so I don't know why there were so few people that particular day. As you see, we've been getting like 20 plus.
Right.
But yeah, so it was just those two they played at one time. But over in Ann Arbor, they play it pretty regularly, and people tend to like it there as well. And I saw the game there, and I'm like, this game's so cool.
Yeah,
so that's how I wanted
cool.
to run it. Yeah, it's just a fun game, and it forces you to use the vocabulary matching the acronyms. And so when you were doing the acronyms and stuff, just made me think. I was like, I wonder if Jamie's ever played acronyms. Because you can make up whatever things you want, how you're just coming up with words like, oh, it's this, maybe it's this.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
No, that would be a fun game.
So you also do music and drumming and stuff.
I do.
So when you started getting into music and going that route and studying it and everything, what had you gravitate towards drums? Like, what was it about drumming?
This is actually a cool story. And I don't know if I've told you this story. I originally was into piano. I was classically trained in piano from the time I was about 4 or 5 to 20, I don't know, when I stopped school, like 24-ish. So in my undergrad, piano was my primary instrument. And it was one of those, it was like end of the semester, I'm working on, I think I was working on my research paper, and I was working in this little hippie coffee shop in Kalamazoo, Ravenwood, and it was amazing, and it was just perfect vibe for me. So I'm tucked away in a corner working on my research paper, and at about 9 o'clock, it was like this thing got transformed. People started moving tables out of the way. I'm like, do I need to leave? No, you're fine. Okay. So people started like moving tables out of the way. And then a West African drum and dance troupe comes in. And it was insane. It blew my mind. I mean, like, very traditional, very skilled, West African drumming and dancing and singing and chanting, and it was high energy, and I'm like, okay, paper's done, because I can't sit still. Like, that's literally what happened. I'm like, I can't not move to this, and everyone was up and dancing, and I stayed until they finished, and then I found out that one of the lead drummers was also a music therapist and a professor and drum teacher at the school that I was currently enrolled in for music therapy. So I'm like, hey, this will then be a theme in my life. But so I stalked her, tracked her down, stalked her, said, I need to be in your class. And she said, all right, well, it's an advanced class, gotta like audition you. She auditioned me. She said, okay, yep, come on in. And then from there, I did a couple performance ensembles. I was in one in Kalamazoo. I was in one in Chicago. I've been in one here. That one fell apart. But started recording an album, actually. I don't know if you knew that. Started recording an album. That one fell apart. But it was just very much, as soon as I touched a drum, my whole body was like, oh, this is what I've been meaning to do. Like, I'm a drummer. And then
you moved from drums to percussion to chickens, to like squeaky chickens and squeaky
It is all percussion. It is all percussion.
Squeaky pig is percussion?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Percussion is anything you can hit, tap, scrape, to make sound.
Okay.
So, like, this can be a percussion instrument. Oh. But yeah, and drums are even considered percussion instruments because you can hit them or strike them, or you know. But yes, colloquially, when we talk about drums and percussion, yeah, exactly. We're talking, okay, these are the drums, And then we've got our bells, our rattlers, our shakers, like our go-go. I just combined a go-go with gagogui. You're not going to know what either of those words mean. But that's okay about a gogui. But that's another ADHD thing. Brain moves too fast to decide which word I'm going to use, so they get combined. Sounds like I'm bragging when I say my brain moves that fast. I'm not, because it's an impediment.
Yeah, I mean, nobody, I think, brags over tripping over their own feet.
Right.
If you're moving fast, or like when you turn a corner and you like bang into the wall.
Oh, I do that all the time. Proprioceptive awareness is not great.
I had to really work on that for myself. Now, I'm not ADHD, but
it's similar proprioceptive awareness, yeah.
Yeah, so I've started moving a little bit slower in more enclosed spaces.
Yeah.
Because hitting my toes on stuff, like especially turning corners, hitting my toes, or I'm sure everyone has hit their pinky going super fast down a hallway and turning into a bedroom.
Or mine is like an elbow or a shoulder. Because I clip the corner of the doorway, I just like miss it by an inch and I walk into the doorway rather than through the doorway.
I still, was that last week, banged my head on the freezer door when I was putting stuff away, and then I, like, bend down, and then I, lift up and bang my head on the freezer door. Yeah.
Is your head okay?
It is.
Well, just, if it makes you feel any better, on my way out the door to come over here, I ran into a pile of hangers that were on, like, my mom's back, I don't know, what do you call that thing? Where you just, like, hang your hats and your gloves and all the winter stuff. It's mini hutch. I'm going to call it a mini hutch. So on the bar, she had a whole bunch of hangers that probably needed to go downstairs for laundry. But my dumbass, walking through, boom, just, like, ran into all of them.
Are you okay?
I think they're hangers.
You're like, no.
I was like, well, actually, now that I did that, it's a little tender.
Okay.
But no, it's fine.
Okay. Since we are about to wrap up, I would like you, I know you've seen the show.
Yes.
Because you've had all kinds of ways to fix it. To enhance the show. So... I'm not like quoting you. I'm not like, you said to fix the show.
Right, you're slandering me on your channel, Jason. Here's my friend Jamie. She hates my show.
No, when you see things that can be, you're like, oh, this could be done like this and this. Like just like the bread episode thing of, that went up today. I'm able to look at that and say, that frame is slightly off. I needed to bring those interview clips down a little bit, and I needed to do this with this volume, but I didn't, and I didn't do this. So I get it. Like, there's ways that can be enhanced.
Yeah.
So I would like you to finish the sentence, Jason, as your friend, with whatever you'd like to put at the end of that.
Jason, as your friend, it is okay to take a break. It is okay to sometimes taking a break.
La la la.
Taking a break. That was my Hamilton without using words. I know, and you do so many amazing, incredible things. You see them through. You are skilled at them. Like, you do things very well.
Thank you.
I know that you're not just, like, dicking around. You're doing important things, and I get that. You are also an important thing. So, as your friend, I just want you to care about yourself as much as you care about other people and projects.
Yeah, and when you say that, it makes me think of when I've had to I don't know if it's a quote or a saying or something specific. I don't know the exact quote, but just paraphrasing that that I should be treating myself the way I treat other people and giving that same grace to myself that I give others and stuff, because I can be very hard on myself. And that's been something I've worked on, where it's like, no, I can be less harsh on myself. And this seems to tie into that, where also give myself a little bit of time to just take a gap. And actually conversations that you and I have had about my self-imposed deadlines.
Right.
I have actually taken that very seriously, and I stopped giving myself deadlines where it's like, oh, in 2 months I have to have this done. It's like, no, it would be cool if I do it in 2 months, but if it doesn't get there, then that's fine, because other stuff is happening and important as well.
Good.
So I have taken that seriously, as you've let me know that I don't need to, because I'm the only one who has the deadline.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
why am I putting a deadline on myself?
So that you can disappoint yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be miserable. I want to be stressed, and then I want to be pressured, and then I want to be mad because I do, and yeah, it's just not to do anything, but to not doing something is productive too.
Yeah. So how should the show be enhanced as an ending?
Well,
like, what would a good ending be?
So I was really tempted. I was really tempted to be Jason as your friend. Is there anything you want me to know? I'll put you on the hot spot. I think that's how the ending should go. Whoever is in this seat has to put Jason on the hot spot before we wrap.
The big problem with that is that I always answer in copyrighted song lyrics and songs, so I would never be able to answer because we'd have to cut it out.
So
because I'd always answer in copyrighted songs, so clearly we can't.
You can hum or change the words. You can use the same solutions you offered me.
Well, thank you, and that's the show.
Oh, thank you, that's the show.
That's the show.
So I don't get my wish.
Oh, do you want the...
I think it would be fun, yeah. What's your...
These are just notes of things.
No, yeah, what is the... Okay, give me a... Jamie, as your friend. See, it's awkward, isn't it? He's going to edit this out.
I'm going to edit it out right as, Jamie, as your friend, and then it's just going to cut. So, Jamie, as your friend, I know that you can also be very hard on yourself, and I know that currently you're going through a lot of very challenging moments, but you do have the skills to get through that. I mean, you are a very talented therapist. People love you, like your clients and stuff. And as far as your music goes, every time you do anything music related, people gravitate toward you, and they appreciate that you are there and want to participate with you. And also, you are very charismatic. Like, people just like being around you.
Okay.
Well, that's... Yeah, as your friend. As your friend, I want to make you cry.